A lot to do today. We're going to be wrapping up some loose ends on some projects, starting some new ones, and doing a little shop cleaning and organization. So that's the plan for today. So give me one moment. That's the plan for today. So give me one moment. Gonna go grab my mic. How's it going? Who tuned in? Is that one person me? It probably is. Better? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? There we go. Awesome. These planners are getting delivered today. So these ones, I'm gonna take some measurements off of my notebook. So if I ever want to build this particular size again, it's just quick, easy cut list. How's it going, William? And Repti, I have no idea how to pronounce that. I apologize. But yeah, that's the game plan for today. So some parts of this live might be more interesting than others, but we'll see what we can do. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. Helps me out a bunch. think I'm going to go ahead and start just with getting the measurements off this guy. So if you guys want to copy these down as I go as well, Piglet. That fine with me. In fact, I plan on posting a video with the dimensions on it. But we'll go ahead and we'll get all of our parts. So we're going to label these as the top trim pieces. And that first one's going to be 25 and what was it? 25 and a 16th. Long point to long point. And then on this side, we're going to be at 12 and 5/16. That's also going to be labeled as a top trim piece. You'll need 2 of those. Let's measure our legs. So we've got a total of 8 legs. If you look at the construction, these ones are wider than these ones just to make that match. So our first ones are going to be 1 3/8. Do we have any other carpenters in the live right now? 1 3/8 by, let's see here, the easiest way to get this measurements will be, let's go like this. $14. Oh, and we're also going to need to do the width on these pieces. I didn't get the width on these. These are 1 3/4 for your top trim pieces. All right. And we need 4 of those legs. Now we're going to need to do same 14 inches, duh. And these are also 1 3/4. So it's the same width as the top trim pieces. From there, now we're going to measure our stretchers here. We're right at 20 and a half. And those are also by 1 3/4. You're going to need 4 of those. And now we'll spin around and we will hit these ones. Those guys are coming to 7 1/4. How's everybody's day? Have they already had their coffee? I cannot make it through a morning without coffee. YouTube Blossom. So 7 1/4 by 1 3/4 inches. You'll need 4 of those as well. We'll call those the short stretchers. All right. And now we're going to measure these panels. They are different widths on both. Let's see. And at 4 3/8 on the end panels. And those run that long, so we're going to go with 12 1/2 on those. And you'll need 4 of those as well. We'll call those the end panels. And then on the inside here, oops, we're going to be looking at 3 1/4. Now, those are going to be the same length. That's also going to be the 12 1/2. And on those, you use, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We need 14 of those. And we'll put those as the side panels, long side panels. And from there, the last piece we got on here, well, actually, we got stretchers too. Our floorboards are going to be 4 1/8. And those we're going to go with 8 5/8. 8 5/8. And on those, you're going to need 1 2 3 4 5. Did I bore you guys all to death? Y'all left. Y'all left me. And then our last 2 pieces, we're going to be looking at 21 9. (9/16). I think I've only made these 1 inch. Yeah, by 1 inch. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Just copying down some measurements because I'm going to be delivering these planters today. I'll show you guys the full cut list in like 2 seconds. Got one more part to measure. On those, you're going to need 2. And we're going to call those our long cleat. If you can read my chicken scratch handwriting, that is. And then here, our shorter cleat is going to be 7 and 9. 7 and 9 by 1. And you're going to need 2 of those. Call those the short cleat. All right, so if you guys want cut list for these, here's where we ended up. I'll try to hold that there for just a quick second. If you guys want to screenshot it or something, hopefully you can read my chicken scratch. So now that that's done and out of the way, we'll be moving on. Mainly going to be tidying up for a moment. Last night's live was a little rough because I couldn't find everything I needed because this shop is a disaster. I think we'll also clean out the spray gun today. Should have done that already. But five likes, heck yeah. Here in a little while, I will end this and I will go get the flowers I mentioned for my wife. But figured I'd get out here and try to do a little bit of cleanup, a little bit more organized where I can find things. Anybody got anything going on today? How's it going? Whoever just joined, appreciate you tuning in. Today, doing, man, losing you guys quick. Today, just working on tying up some loose ends. Took measurements off this planner, created a cut list for it in case I want to remake that. And then we're going to make at least 10 of these today. We're going to make an 8-foot trellis, and probably the very next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make myself a lumber rack to go back there. So let's do that real quick. That'll help get a lot of this up off the floor and help keep it a little bit flatter. So I think we'll just make that out of 2x4s. We'll just make some braces and throw. I've got a sheet of OSB we can throw on it. I'll be right back. Gonna go grab some 2x4s from the other side of the garage. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Oops. All right, so we got some 2x4s. First thing I'm going to do is knock a bunch of shit down. That's just the way it is. I'm going to measure how wide my scrap piece of OSB is. We're coming out at 17 and 13/16. So the first cuts I'm going to make are going to be that width. That's to kill some of these heaters so I don't pop the breaker. I'll find one of my jackets that I left out here. I think I can run that. All right. So it's 17 and 13. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter than that. So we'll probably just go with like 17 3/4 would be close enough. So I'll mark that. Now I'm going to see roughly how many of these studs I'm going to hit when I mount these racks. I guess I should see how long the strap piece of OSB is first. I believe it's a full length, so it should be 8 feet. No, it is only 6 feet, which is perfect because the majority of the lumber I'm wanting to store up there is going to be cedar pickets. Just wanted to get them flat, so. So it looks like I'm going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 5 of those. Set my stop block. All right. I don't know if I'm going to have enough 2x4s to do this. Hopefully. Ah, shit. Forgot about that wonderful thing. I got less than 8 feet cutting capacity on these. And I don't believe, even if I open the door, got some stuff piled behind it. I gotta get that cleaned up. We're gonna waste a little bit here. What I'll do, so I'm gonna cut this just a little bit long. So a little bit past the 17, and then we'll square that end. So we'll go ahead and move our stop down. There we go. Ooh. We got my PPE. All right. So let's reset that stop. I love using stops. It helps everything come out square because you know you're getting that exact same cut every time. All right. There we go. All right, so I got those 5. Here, let me flip you guys around for a second. So those are going to be the supports that run like that. Now we're going to build the bracket to attach them all to. we'll have basically just some triangles sandwiching along these. So I think we'll cut a 45 on one. Now we're going to need a block that comes off this direction. In fact, the 17 might work well for that. I think we'll just center them like, oh, sorry, I got you guys flipped around looking at a notebook. I think we'll just go ahead and put them like that and then run that one support piece underneath them. So let's go ahead. Let's do the math on this real quick. If anyone's better at mental math than I am, got 3.5 on your standard 2x4. You always want to measure them though, because wood shrinks and swells, and you can be off 1/16, 1/8 of an inch. So these guys are at 3.5 though. And we're going to attach like this. And if these should be 1.5 inches, so 1.5 inches minus 3.5 is 2. So you're going to want a 1 inch on each side of it. So we'll go ahead and we will attach a 1 inch piece to that, or a 1 inch space on each side we'll mark out. Who we got in the chat? Who we got on here? Please say hi. I'd love to hear from you guys. I got a Facebook message from a customer. I might have to check that here in just a second. There we go. So we'll do it just like that. Trying to figure out the easiest way to support that while I screw that together. Let's come over here and see. If we can find. Now I've got my little baby countersink bit. I was hoping for a bigger one. Thought I had one in here. Got way too many bits. This is just like my most commonly used pile. I've got all those as well, and then a can here. I've got all these guys. Let's see, some plug cutters. There we go. Screw extractors, always handy. So alright, we're gonna come down 1 inch as well. Let's just do this. Let's mark out. Sorry, gang, I'm struggle busting a little bit this morning. Pretty good all the way across. Just gonna kind of mark out where I want those. All right, so I'll just lay out a couple holes inside that. Once we get this first one laid out, we'll be able to crank out these others pretty quickly. Here we go. Here's my good one. Inch and a half divided by 2 is going to be 3/4. And we'll just take and we'll run a straight line down there. And we'll put one hole 3/4 of an inch down. And the other one 3/4 of an inch up. And then we're going to go ahead and pre-drill those. Now, just for sake of ease of construction, we're going to go ahead, throw a clamp on there just to kind of hold it in place while I'm putting that first screw in. After that, we should be golden. Check that reveal on each side. About 1 inch on the bottom. Needs knocked over just a hair. On the top. I may overcompensate a little bit. There we go. Oh, pretty darn good. We're golden. We're golden, gang. All right, let's see what screws I have laying around for this. Ooh. I'll have to pick up some more screws later today. Running low on screws. And need a bit driver. How's it going? And before we do that, we're gonna run that drill into the board that we're screwing into, just to make sure we're not splitting the wood. There we go. That first one in, now we can take our clamp off. We'll pre-drill that other hole. It isn't already obvious I'm a little out of practice on some of this. now we got that. And basically, we're just going to run a board like that as a support. I did just think of something though. Yeah, so I'm going to have to shorten all these guys up a little bit. They're going to be 1.5 inches, the thickness of our backer short. So let me pop those out and then we'll otherwise I'm going to have a overhang there. Let's take 1.5 inches off this end. There we go. 17, just a hair under. That'll work perfect. So we'll redrive those screws on. And then we'll measure our cross pieces. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. If you're just joining, what I'm working on is building a lumber rack to go right there. So I actually have access to my lathe and my pickets quit warping. So, hey, Benner, how you doing? So today might not be the most interesting live, but I figured it'd be a better day if I got to hang out with you guys than if I was just doing this all by myself. All right. Let's see here. We're gonna roughly, we're gonna cut it a little long and then we'll dial it in. Perfect. Sounds like a good day to me. So that planner I made last night, my wife has already claimed, but I told her it's all hers as long as she goes and gets some flowers to put in it and gets it staged up and makes the marketplace post for it. All right, not quite where I want to be, but pretty damn close. Now it's a manageable piece where I can scribe that line to get it where I want to. And she's also going to cut out some different things to put on the front of it, either like mom for Mother's Day. I think we can sell a bunch of them for Mother's Day. The other one was we're going to put addresses, home, you know, just all the cutesy little shit that people like. So. Damn close. Just like another blade length. I don't know how good you are at math, Benner, but I'm terrible. So a lot of my custom designs are trial and error. Work my way down to what I need. There we go. That should do the trick. Oh no, we're still just a little bit. I think we'll be all right. I do have the pocket hole jig for doing these, but I don't know if I'm going to go that route. Trying to not waste a bunch of time this morning and just knock out this lumber rack real quick. Plug in the drill batteries. Cool. What do you mean you were jamming out to my jams? Oh, that's an interesting screw. Oh, shit. Okay. Whoops. Motherfucker. This is drilled into my fucking... Oh, I didn't drill. I ran a screw into the... Let's see, do I have any other shorter screws? I don't know if I do. An 1.25 inches. I don't think that's going to be long enough. I suppose if I really sink that bitch. Nah, that's not going to work. gonna need something in between 3-inch, an inch and a half. Gotta quit spending money though. Let's see what else we got over here. There we go. Except that kind of scooched forward on me a little bit. Pretty cool. Oh shit, I didn't even know that was visible to you guys. I'm a little bit different with my music taste. There we go. So there's our brackets. We'll go ahead and bounce them up there, and then I got a sheet of OSB to throw across the top. So I believe we decided I needed 5 of these. So I'll go ahead and cut the other part. Probably just some like 3-inch screws into the studs. I don't plan on storing hideous amounts of wood up there. Maybe 15, 20 pickets at a time. So I don't know if you saw the video when I walked through Woodcraft. I was kind of hating on the guys that do their have the store-bought wood racks. I'm like, you're a carpenter, just make it, dude. There's no reason to spend money for something like that. I'm gonna pop one more. Screw in the back of it. You think that'll be sturdy enough for the intended purpose, spinner? Yeah. What is going on here? I've never had so much trouble driving screws into pine. Might be my bit tip here. Oh, shitty. I just don't have that hole pre-drilled deep enough. That's good. There I go. But I am going to pick up that dowel today and we'll get that home plate finished up. Let's see if I can find a different bit tip. Give me one moment. I'm sure it will be. Was just curious. The cedar live edge I put up in kitchen, wasn't exactly sure how I should have mounted it. Ended up making notches like a plaque and screw and a wall to slide it onto. Kind of like a sounds almost like a French cleat. Is that kind of what you're saying? I wonder if I'm not hitting the other screw. So that just will not drive. It gets 3/4 of the way in, and it is just bottoming out. Try one last screw, and then I'm going to have to run. Wife is wanting to get going for the day. But God damn it, I'm getting this in there. Yeah, easy to knock off. There we go. All right. Well, I will be on several more times today. Hopefully the next few are a little more interesting. But I gotta go take care of the wife and the dog. The dog is feeling better today. She's walking a little better. I think she just like pulled a muscle or something. But when we come back later today, now that I got the first one made, we'll go ahead and we'll get the rest of those built and screwed up, and we'll be ready to go. All right. See you guys later.